How do you see a song through to completion? It is a major question for guitarists, because with YouTube, we can look up whatever we want, and you know, when we kind of get a bit of it, we can move on to the next one, or we can leave it at that. So here's something I'm going to suggest. I'm going to write this down on the iPad. Okay. The problem with seeing a song through to completion is commonly this. We go to one source, and that's our YouTube account. And I'm not hating on YouTube. I love YouTube. Oh my God, can't imagine life without it. So, and let's just say that's a guitarist, that's me. And we go there for our song. Okay. Well, what happens here? Number one is we got to be sure that the song is manageable. What do I mean by manageable? I mean that we aren't on step 19 of learning guitar, and this song exists on step 62. If you think about the progress involved in getting through all these steps, and we'll just imagine all the mini steps, and that's where players struggle. They look up a song and they try it out, and next thing they're like, oh man, I don't know. So here's the thing. Finding songs that are within your range of current ability is absolute key. So like if you pick a song that exists anywhere around here, anywhere along those steps, you have a far higher chance of seeing them through to completion. Excuse me. So what could you do? Well, what you could start with is this. I'm going to use this example. Let's say you're a player who is the D, G, C. Oh, I'll do this again, sorry. Okay. Let's say you're a player who is G, C, D, and E minor. Okay. And let's say you can play Wagon Wheel, Ever the Classic. You can play Zombie. You can play Brown Eyed Girl. Dave, you're going for the classics today, I know. And let's say you have those three songs, and they all use those chords, and the strum patterns aren't too different in them. Well, let's say then you're getting all buzzed, and you're like, oh, this is so good. I'm going to learn another Van Morrison song. And you look up Moondance, and Moondance could be going something like this. Sorry. See, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, that's up like a couple of levels in the game. So what you want to do is you want to base your searches on your current chords and base them on one extra chord outside of that. So the perfect chord to add outside of this group of chords. Okay. Did you ever hear that song, One Step Beyond by Madness? Go one step beyond. That's all we want. That's a great tune. So, for example, e.g., add the A chord in. So now what that unlocks is you could do a song with D, G, and A. You could also do a song with A, D. No, I'll keep it simple for now. Okay, so D, G, and A. And because of that, then you can look up songs, and you only have one brand new chord in that. That's your A chord. And songs that use D, G, and A could include... I'm blanking. Oh, I'll have to get back to that, sorry. So, you add in that one thing. Okay, I'm actually going to look this up because it's going to drive me mad. I'm waiting for the comments. Here you're going, I thought you knew loads of songs. I do, I'm just absolutely blanking. Okay, so... Oh, Hey Mr. Tambourine Man and Bad Moon Rising. Okay, so we'll say Hey Mr. Tambo and Bad Moon Rising. Okay, so now when you think about it, You've gone from a player trying to go from step whatever up to like 18 levels above to just taking that mini step beyond. And what I'd suggest then is to see it through to completion. So that's the first thing, to make it manageable by going one step beyond. Step 3 here is it's how to structure the songs. So I think of songs, I put them into 3 buckets like this. And I put them into easy peasy. I put them into happening soon. And I put them into someday. Someday soon. Okay? Gotta have the possibility. So, if you're starting it, there, like for example, Bad Moon Rising is far more up-tempo than Hey Mr. Tambourine Man. But looking at it, excuse me a sec. Looking at it, you see here, it kind of sets your expectations then. It sets your expectations that if you're starting a song and you're like, oh, this one feels pretty easy, that you're looking at completing it in the next few days. The happening soon one, you'll go easier on yourself. You'll say a couple of weeks. And then the someday soon, you could say a couple of months. And some are instantaneous over time. So by separating this out, you've now made it manageable. You have gone one step beyond by adding on the A chord. And for example, if you're looking at this and you want an extra one, after you've learned a song or two with that, you add on the E chord, and then you could just expand it out like that. Then you've categorized them, so you're managing your expectations. Step 4 then, here is the key one, to see it through to completion. So that was the groundwork. That was like just making sure that we picked a correct song that's manageable and how to make it manageable. And even within that, you can split up those songs into like this A, D, and E chord, or this D, G, and A song. It'll happen this week, or it'll happen this month, or it'll happen this year. You know, they can be split out. So the last thing is step 4, how to see it through to completion. What you got to do is you got to front load it into your practice routine. So let's say, sorry, there we go. That's more like it. So with your practice routine, let's just imagine that's the new song. And let's just say this side represents old faves. The crowd pleasers, the stuff you can play already. That way you're making progress with the new song and you're also maintaining your old ones. So let's break it down to here now with the new song. The first thing to do is, what's the goal? So for example, if I picked Bad Moon Rising, I would say, on average, you have to play the chords 20 times in a row to complete the song. Okay, and with that then, you've set your goal. And you could start off by learning to play it twice in a row with the chords, then 4, then 8, 12, 16, and get to 20. And a key question to ask yourself is, how do I know this song is complete? For me, in the beginning, it was when I could play along with the song, or I could play it for 2 to 3 minutes, and I had that feeling of, yeah, I could keep going with this. I could play longer than the song. And like, I wouldn't put a measure of saying that you have to play up to speed with the song in order to feel like you've done it. If you can play a slower version of Bad Moon Rising and make it to the end, that's still great, like, you know. And there are ways to slow down songs as well. So that's a small bit about making songs more manageable to completion. So we'd say we got, there we go. So we're looking on YouTube for a song. We make sure it's manageable because sometimes players, they can go from step 19 to step 62. Here's some classic songs that use those 4. And if I was doing one extra chord, I'd add the A. If you added B flat as your next chord after that, there's going to be problems because there ain't too many songs that G, C, B flat and D and E minor work together. Unless you want to write one, that'd be so cool. Then you look for the songs. I use Google because, sorry, I blanked. So, Hey Mr. Tambourine Man, Bad Moon Rising. You drop it into your bucket, give it a go and drop it in, and you'll know. And let's just say you do a song like that and you think, oh man, this isn't happening this week, it might happen next month. Well, drop it into that bucket, do a bit on it, but go out and find an easier song. Or ask me if you want to find an easier song in that category. Then once you have the song, front load it in your practice routine, put it first. That way you'll start to make progress on the things that matter. Then you have the maintenance mode of the others. And what's the end goal? Some songs you have to play the chords 20 times in a row to make it to the end. So break it down into chunks like 2, 4, 6, 8, and Who Do We Appreciate and all that. Right? So that's a small bit on how do you see songs through to completion. It's like a framework. Now, this is building out over time. It's how do you say, there's different songs and different ways to do this, but that is the way I've broken down songs here in my lessons and online in my courses. So